Right then guys, you saw from the title I will be discussing the T-Infinity. This is the Terminator Infinity unit. It's a prototype and I touched on it briefly in my video last week where I was discussing and theorizing how the T-1000 travelled through time, and I touched on the T-Infinity just to kind of explain that the T-Infinity had a temporal distortion device on its person. So that's what I used as a basis for part of the theory, but a few people were interested and actively wanted me to discuss it. There's not an awful lot to talk about with regards to the T-Infinity, but in terms of its appearances, it appeared in the Terminator Infinity comic, which was published by Dynamite Entertainment. So it is a comic canon Terminator. It's obviously not in films, very, very clearly not in films, but it is an interesting one. So the Terminator Infinity unit is a temporal Terminator. It's created by Skynet, and its sole purpose was to essentially make sure that the timelines don't go completely tits up from everything traveling backwards and forwards through time. It was the only prototype ever created of this version, and it was sent to just correct the timeline. That's all it was. It's not an infiltrator unit of any sort. It just polices, I guess you could say, the timeline. So the T-Infinity was built with an onboard time displacement equipment unit, so a TDE, which is what Skynet uses to send people backwards and forwards through time. This would make it possible for the T-Infinity to essentially just relocate itself instantly in time. It was able to translocate direct hits from a weapon and not be destroyed. It could essentially remove a bullet that was heading towards it and locate it elsewhere. That was the type of power that the T-Infinity had. It's an interesting unit because it falls under the Charles Xavier argument. It's a great creation and it's highly interesting. However, it's so powerful that it becomes universe breaking. It's ridiculously powerful. If one thing has that much power, nothing can stand in its way, which is similar to Charles Xavier. If you think about X-Men, Charles Xavier has to be put on ice each and every single X-Men film because he is too powerful, and if he wasn't put on ice or weakened in some way, he would save the day each time. It's a similar concept, although I will say this, I really do like the T-Infinity. It had similar technology to the Series X endoskeleton. It had been applied basically to the T-Infinity, which would make it capable of storing various onboard weaponry. In terms of where it's seen, like I said, it is in Terminator Infinity. Skynet, in terms of the story, anyway, Skynet somehow found out that the timeline was unbalanced when a character called Uncle Bob appeared in the same date, and then Skynet decided obviously to correct it using the T-Infinity. The T-Infinity was then sent back to July 17, 2009, just before John Connor became the leader of the Resistance. In terms of its other features, it appeared in Terminator Revolution. Skynet dispatched the T-Infinity again from 2033 to 2015 in order to kill Tara Connor. This was during a raid in the Resistance headquarters. The T-Infinity was temporarily disabled by John Connor with an EMP pulse and a steel bar, causing his onboard time displacement equipment to malfunction. This then caused both John Connor and the T-Infinity to go back to Alabama in the year 1996. It was interesting in terms of what it's made out of and just generally speaking how it functioned. It's so advanced in some manner, but it is so removed from the advancement as well. I mean, it had an endoskeleton. It was able to be affected by an EMP. And yes, of course, it did have onboard weaponry, but it's not as powerful as it appears, or it could have been. So although they Charles Xaviered it, they did keep it somewhat down. But I thought I would just bring this video to you in a more discussion-based format. It is an interesting one. It does raise the question that if the T-Infinity was created, then why couldn't the T-Infinity just simply do what the job of every other Terminator did? It's so advanced it could do everything, surely. And that's kind of the issue that we run into when we create these kind of universes and we keep upping the ante. And it's something which you can see in the, I'm gonna reference it, the Predator trailer. Bigger or more powerful is not necessarily always better. It can sometimes be interesting, but in the regards to this, anyway, the T-Infinity, it is almost universe breaking. But what do you guys think of the T Infinity? Have you ever heard of it? Do you like the concept? Or do you think, like me, it is running the risk of potentially a Charles Xavier type character? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video and it was new to you, give it a like and a share. That really does help me out, especially the likes. I got accused of the likes, basically asking for likes because it affects dollars. It actually doesn't. I can just explain it to you right now. The reason I say give the video a thumbs up is it changes where YouTube puts the video on searches. So it's engagement and then the algorithm likes it. That's the only reason. So if you enjoyed this video, it helps me by giving it a big thumbs up. I don't get any money from your thumbs ups. That's a fucking lie. So guys, if you enjoyed it, like I say, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Guys, I've been Mr. H, and I will catch you in the next video.